In this video, we're going to talk about algebra. And algebra is often really confusing for students, and the reason being is because we're used to dealing with only numbers in maths, and with algebra, we have these letters that pop up. So for example, A, B, C, it could be any letter that can pop up. The most common ones are usually X and Y. We see them lots in algebra. But what you need to know is those letters actually have a name, and they're called pronumerals. So pronumerals, all these letters in algebra are called pronumerals, and what they actually do, these letters usually stand for a number. We can put a number in instead of these letters. So even though we have these letters, they can stand for something. So in primary school, you might have seen something like this. You see a box plus 2 equals 7. And we would know this box stands for a missing number. We're trying to find a missing number, right? So in this case, we could figure out what that missing number is, because something plus 2 equals 7, we would know that would be 5 plus 2 equals 7. So that's for primary school. For high school, we've replaced these boxes. We don't have the boxes anymore. And now we use these pronumerals, these letters. In this case, x plus 2 equals 7. So now we can figure out what x is, because to get to 7, we know that x would have to be 5. So x is equal to 5. So if we have 5 instead of x, then we get 5 plus 2 equals 7, and that would be correct. Right? So just realize that these pronumerals that we deal with, they're just letters that can stand for a number. So for example, here, this right here, x plus y, we call that an expression. And what we can do is we can replace these letters with numbers. So here we say solve the following expression by substituting. And substituting is a different word for replacing. Right? So by substituting x for 4 and y for 2. So what that means is instead of writing x plus y, we can just now write 4, because we say instead of writing x, we write, because x is the same as 4, we write 4. And then instead of writing y, we write 2, because y is equal to 2. So now instead of having x plus y, we have 4 plus 2. And then we can solve it. So we can say 4 plus 2 is 6. That would be our answer. So just realize that these pronumerals are letters that can stand for numbers, and we can substitute in numbers into these letters by replacing the letters with numbers. And then we can get an actual result. But we don't always have to. So sometimes we just deal just with the letters, the pronumerals, and that's also good enough as well, right? But just realize what these pronumerals are all about. In this video, we're going to talk about how we can simplify and expand an expression. So for example, if we have this expression, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, is there any way we can make it shorter? Well, what we can do is we can just count how many 2's we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then say we have 4 lots of 2. So that's 4 times 2. That means we have 4 lots of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's basically now simplified. The expanded was here, now we've got it simplified. But how about if it's in pronumerals, so if it's algebra instead of just normal numbers? So a plus a plus a plus a. How can we simplify that? How can we shorten that? Same thing. We have, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4 times with a, because we have 4 pronumerals which are a. So 4 times a. And often what you'll see that written as 4a, because when it comes to, if there's times somewhere, we don't write that when it comes to algebra. If there's a letter and a number, we don't write the times between. We just write 4a, but that basically means 4 times a. Right, so now we've got that shortened and simplified. How about if it's a bit more confusing, or if it's a bit longer? If we have this expression right down here. So it says 2b plus 2a plus b plus 3a plus 5. What we can do now is we can collect like terms. So like terms are these combinations of letters and numbers that have the same pronumerals. In this case, 2a plus 3a, what we can do is we can just add those together because they are like terms. So we say 2a plus 3a is 5a. But we can't add the b's and the a's together because they're unlike terms. So we can also add 2b and b together. 2b and b, this is just, you can imagine it's 1b. So that means those two to become 3b. And then at the end, we can't do anything with this 5 because it has no pronumeral attached. We can't just say, 5 plus 1b plus 2b equals 8b. This 5 has nothing attached, so we just add it at the end, right? So this was the simplified version. So these two are the same, but here we've just simplified it, made it shorter. But remember, you can only add like terms. You have the unlike terms you can't add. You just keep them separate. Now that's for addition. And when it comes to addition, so this addition here, that's plus. Think of addition as the number is attached. So what I mean by that is if we have 4 plus 4 plus, a plus a plus a plus a, it becomes 4a, and you can see that number in front, this number, is attached to the a. Now what I mean by that is the difference here you'll see is when we do times, because when it's times, it's not going to be attached, it's going to be up on a mountain. So if we have 2 times 2 times 2, the way we can simplify that is we have the base, in this case we have 2 as the base, and we'll put a number on top. Again, you can imagine this number is on the mountain, because what that means is we have 2 times itself a total of 4 times, because we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that's 2 by itself 4 times. So when it comes to multiplication, if you multiply something, the number comes, so when we multiply, which is the same as times, the number is going to be up on the mountains, which means it's going to be up top, not on the bottom. We call that index notation. So same thing when we have algebra. If we have a times a times a times a, we can write instead a to the power of 4, because we have a by itself a total of 4 times. So a to the power of 4, right? So we have multiplication sign. That means the actual number goes up on m for mountains, m for multiplication. So the number goes up on top, as opposed to when we're adding, the number is attached to its side. So you need to know how to simplify and expand expressions, basically collecting like terms.